everybody, I am in the garden today and I'm coming to you today. I haven't done a garden tour in so long because I've been so busy trying to stay on top of the curve. You know, those seasons change, what you can grow changes, and spring was such a workhorse for me because I wanted to make sure I actually had some decent harvest this summer. And then I was harvesting my winter garden, so that was another work period. And so I've been just showing you me working in the garden. And my mom looked at one of my work in the garden videos and she's like, you know, your garden looks a lot prettier when you just do those snippets and show you working in it. She says, when I look at it, I see a bunch of weeds. So I thought, well, you know, I don't want people to think that I've got this beautiful garden because you're seeing it through my eyes as I'm working it and you're seeing what I'm doing. I want you to know what it actually looks like. So today I am going to do a garden tour and I'm going to show you long shots so you can see it the way it actually is. In addition, I will insert some of my little touches the way I see it. So I hope, you know, if I've been misleading you guys to thinking I have this gorgeous garden. I love my garden, but it's a little wild.
Okay. Go back to my February garden tour, which may have been my last garden tour. This is celery, guys. This is what my celery that I planted from seeds looks like now. This is a purple celery. So if you look, I'm trying to show you. See, it's got red in the coloring there. These are celery stalks. It's quite a bit wilder. And now I'm going to come out. That is a mustard plant that has gone to flower. And these are leeks. Those are blue leeks. They're French leek, blue solanage leeks. And there's garlic under there too. Over here is my mint and the rue. Oh, at the very end there, that is a spinach plant that can make it through the month of June because June is overcast. Spinach does not like our summers, but it will hang in there as long as we have overcast weather. So I'm hoping by chance that'll go to seed, and then maybe I'll have some spinach that is more acclimated to Southern California. That's another mint plant. These are spearmint. If you notice, spearmint doesn't weed out in California. We don't have the water that it would need to become a weed. And I haven't watered this area over here in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I probably should water it today. And that's my oregano. We eat that every day. Okay, I'm gonna pull out.
Those are my tomatoes, everybody. So when you see me showing you close-ups, this is what the tomato garden looks like. It is spilling out. Now I'm gonna go in close. So I've showed you the way it actually looks, and you know, it's on the ground. All those are either flowers or tomatoes. You can see all the tomatoes on there everywhere. And then I'm gonna go from this angle so you can see. Yeah, it's about 3 to 4 foot out there, and there's a flower. I did plant wildflowers with my tomatoes because I was hoping the wildflowers would be more abundant, but maybe next year. And you can see a carrot peeking up there too. Tomatoes, there's probably about 12 plants in there, and there you can see another purple wildflower growing out underneath that. I wanted the wildflowers to really take on the understory there, so it would, you know, be purple and white, and then tomatoes. There's some I'm having a brain for it right now. It'll come parsnips, and there's probably more celery around here. Those are little parsnips coming up. I keep on planting the parsnips. More parsnips. Oh, the blueberries are back there. I forgot to show you the blueberries in the back. You can only see the one in the front now. There's the one in the back. Yeah. And behind this bush here, there's a blueberry in the back. But from the front, you can only see one blueberry plant. You're looking at a blueberry plant there. I'll try to zoom in. See those pretty leaves that are kind of heart-shaped? The 4-leaf clover leaf is a wild flower, but that's a blueberry. And actually, in the midst of this tangle of tomatoes, there's another blueberry. I'll pull out so you can see. Yeah, so there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna take you to the next section. Oh, and there's a that's probably a little parasite or something because it's dangling for me. So yeah. Okay, and here are the begonias. They've been filling out and they've been doing pretty good. Those oxalis are hanging over the front of them. I'm actually weeding them out because my mother doesn't like them, but I got a few back issues, so I've gotten this far as my weeding out is concerned. And my chrysanthemums are doing their second bloom there in the back, so that this flower right here is a chrysanthemum. So there's another chrysanthemum. And if you look now, you can see them clearly, the chrysanthemums. Here's my tall flowers. These do really well in Southern California. This flower right here just does so well here. Okay, so that's my second part, and you can see, yeah, it is a little weedy. The side, I pull these up by hand. I use no weed killers, nothing like that, because half the things I plant will die. All my food mostly would die from weed killers. Okay, those are strawberries, and in the middle of my strawberries you can see my beans coming up. So you can see all the strawberries on there. Strawberries are supposed to come up in June, and I get lots of strawberries, but I've never gotten to eat any because I also have a lot of birds. And the collard greens are trying to come back. I did try to plant another one. And there's the corn patch. The tallest corn is probably about 6 foot tall. And then there's other corn there. Now, that weedy looking plant there is a mustard green that has gone to seeds, but the birds keep eating the seeds, so I'm leaving it for them because I would prefer that they eat the mustard greens to my corn. You know, in the background there you can see my purple potted pole beans, and they've probably gotten about maybe 6 foot tall. Those flowery looking things, those meadowy looking things, again, that's what it looks like, guys. This is what it looks like. And when I show it to you up close, I'm going to show you the difference. I go in and I'm showing you what I'm looking at, which is the corn. Those heart-shaped vines traveling up the corn, those are beans. There's a couple of pumpkin in the understory that are just getting started. See that little squash plant there? I probably ended up with 5 or 6 squash plants that are just getting started. So that's what I show you there. Okay, over here, those are my radicchio. They're starting to get a little bit of red tone on them. They are supposed to be red radicchio, but mine stayed green, and I'm okay with that. These right here are garlic. All of that is garlic. And you can see garlic growing out of the radicchio. Oh, actually, those are leeks. Those are those blue solange leeks that are growing out of the radicchio. And I like the way that looks. And there's more garlic, and there's lettuce. Okay? Now, these plants here that have these blue flowers are rat-tail radishes. They can take heat. And you see I've got an abundance of them. So that's basically the salad that I'm eating. This is a celery plant. This is a celery plant that made it. Trying to show you. That's a celery plant, and it's growing straight up. Again, it's only got a little bit of color to it, but that's a red celery plant. Okay? And my potatoes have been getting, all my root vegetables actually have been taken out mostly by the critters eating them. In the distance, you can see those are my, that's a herbal tea there, that chamomile. I don't know what's going on with my head, but that's chamomile. The camera's having a hard time focusing in on the yellow and the white, so it looks a little brighter than it actually is, but it's a nice cheery daisy flower, and it smells absolutely divine. Those are carrots that have hung in there so far. And the beans are going up the pole. That sharp plant at the distance there is artichoke. And this is my lemon tree. I'm a little close right now, but I will go around to the other side so that you can see my chicory patch. Okay, Let me go a little bit further back because I don't want you to miss it. Chicory is a weed, but it is so good for you. It's in the same family as dandelion and the radicchio there. I'll take you around to the other side here. But this is what it looks like, guys. I'm trying to eat here, you know. I'm trying to have some food. There's a piece. More, this is endive. So now we're at the endive border, and there's more blue solonage leeks growing through them. These leeks are grown from seeds, so they take 2 years. More leeks, the last of my chicory. The chicory is about to flower. Before it flowers, it has thicker leaves, so I use it as a salad. Now it's hard to pick enough leaves to get a good salad. I just harvested from my, that's scarlet runner bean. And these are my pea poles that my peas did not fully fill up. I don't know if they'll be able to make it, because they should last, I don't know, because they've got a little, looks like they got that mildew on them, so I don't know how long they got left. And then over there, there's my garlic, and it is starting to flower. So these are long shots, so you can see it the way my mother sees it. But of course, oh, that little patch right there, that's summer okra. Yeah, and there's a lot more okra and watermelon in there. If you look, there's a watermelon. I have that little piece of plastic there on top of it, trying to warm it up because I am forever trying to grow watermelon in Southern California. I know it's hilarious, but one of these days, I'm gonna have the best tasting homegrown watermelons in Southern California because they will be the only ones. You know, I don't know if it's this year. I've mastered okra. Over there, again, past that little patch of grass, that is a nice patch of okra, and you can see the rat tail radishes there in the photo. Let me see if I can pull out some.
I'm starting to show my grains package. This is oatmeal, and it came up successfully. I am not watering this at all. I've never ever watered this space. And in the distance, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, that's wheat. So I didn't get many. That wheat is local to California, so I could have done better with that. But I've got wheat coming up, and I've got oats that didn't require any water because I don't water this space at all. I do also have a lot of grass, weeds that came up because I couldn't tell the difference between oats and wheat and grass, and I wanted those grains. So now I got these to contend with too.
This pea plant here is alfalfa, and growing along the ground there, those are buckwheat. The dark green leaves through the corn is faba beans. And you could see, if you look closely, you could see some squash coming up at the bottom. So I've got the three sisters going there. Here are a couple of okra. So actually it's about 7 okras in there, but they're kind of small right now. And that's everything. This is the only one I couldn't figure out a way to do in a long shot because I do have it covered with a stair right now. Here's some of my cute little close-ups again, because this is the way I'm looking at it. New corn coming up, beans flowering, you know, food. One lettuce survived in the pot. The bay leaf is doing fine. The thyme has gone to seed. The rosemary's hanging in there. The chamomile I put in the pot is flowering, and the basil is doing good. I really need to pull out those pepper plants. They're several years old now, maybe 3 or 4 years old, and they're still fruiting, but they just, you know, they don't like the leaf. Or maybe I could put some more soil in there. I'll probably put some more soil in it. I haven't got the heart to take it out. Sage growing along the little path with the native wildflower axilla. Okay, everybody, so that's my garden tour, and I hope that it enlightens you about how it really looks around here. And I threw in a couple of shots of how I see it, because I'm always looking at it from the standpoint of, you know, what food I'm getting out of it. Talk to you later. Thank you very much. Watch some of my cooking videos. It's pretty interesting food stuff in there.